So lovely to host you every Wednesday of the month right here at Digital Earth Africa. Greetings, leaders from the African continent and across the world. Welcome to today's live session. Now, I know last week I said that was the final English live session of this calendar year, but alas, here we are. That was a little bit of an error. Today's session is going to be in English, and it is indeed our final one for 2023. But I'll get to that a little bit later. It's lovely to host you nonetheless. I'm equally excited about today's topic, which is all about agriculture monitoring using the Digital Earth Africa platforms. I'm also excited to be introducing today's presenter. It's the first time that he's been on the virtual stage here as a facilitator, and we're really looking forward to hearing more about him. He is a GIS and remote sensing user. He's also our Digital Earth Africa champion all the way in Rwanda, and he is a graduate at the University of Rwanda. Please join me in welcoming onto the virtual stage, Joel Ndayisaba. Joel? If you could turn on your camera, the virtual stage is yours. Over to you.
Thank you. I'm happy to welcome you in today's session that are going to dive in for agricultural monitoring using the Digital Earth Africa platform. We see that nowadays our world is challenged from food scarcity, and different digital monitoring systems can be the better solution to be employed for agriculture challenges, diversification to reduce those agricultural issues or agriculture shocks. So here I have a short script that are going to help us to dive in our today's session. You can ask yourself that what can be if I have different boxes and I don't know which box that hosts light inside. So you can have the choice to open all doors or try to sample randomly one by one and try to open until you get one that have light inside. So here we have two questions. You ask yourself why you have any challenges you want to mitigate. So you could ask yourself or imagine if there is no intellectuals who dedicate their lives to digitalize our world today. You can ask yourself, but here we have a huge number of information that are available online, but it's your pace to decide which kind of information are you going to consume. So the next you can imagine or you can mind while you search and find that there is some steps your elders taken. Here I've asked myself, I've got that Digital Earth Africa is one of platform that has been developed by our elders. So we have to use this platform to analyze and get more experience to make our world better digitalized than before, than past. So the last one, you can imagine if you have many boxes and one of them have light inside, better search and keep searching to observe the most important to you. Even we have different platforms, and different platforms host huge amount of information. And those information are much differ. So it's our pace to decide which information are we going to consume. So in the learning activities, we have different platforms. Some of those platforms are not well productive. That's why I decided to use this image to show that we have to choose wisely about what we want to consume. So as a geospatial and as GIS and remote sensing user, I can suggest anybody here to use Digital Earth Africa, even other platforms, because whether you want to be the Earth observation or Earth observer, you must know geospatial technologies. So the Digital Earth Africa, I've found Digital Earth Africa as a platform, as you can find one of light boxes into different boxes that host no light inside. Let's dive in. Here we have an introduction as the application of GIS and remote sensing in agriculture with using Digital Earth Africa. We cannot start without introduction. Here we are going to pass through those as agriculture play a central role in what is economy. In Rwanda, agriculture is cornerstone of our country, where 70% of our population is contributing significantly to GDP. And our country is committed to ensuring food security and sustainable development with global goals such as SDGs, where as if agriculture is well maintained, there is no poverty. There can be, we cannot just say zero hunger because there cannot any hunger person. So while we sustain our agriculture, climate action can be in action or can be achieved as goal. So here in Rwanda and other sub-Saharan Africans, we challenged from climate change induced irregularities like unpredictable rainfall and temperature variation. Here on unpredictable rainfall, we found that our country challenged from vast time of rainfall, uh, vast time of unpredictable rainfall, where like on the previous we faced the challenge of floods. Even those floods are the results of unpredictable rainfall, and those floods have have impacted the lives of different huge number around above 100 of Rwandan citizens. So those are challenges in some part of our country. So the next we challenged by the temperature variations, especially in Eastern Province, as our study will be based on Eastern Province, Gatsibo District, Rwimbogo sector. So here, after those, the prolonged drought, floods, and landslide have adversely affected farming system, leading to crop failure, reduced food production, increased poverty, and food insecurity, especially in our rural areas. Those rural areas rely on rain-fed agriculture, even where we found that there is no other kind of job that help them to survive. So in our study of today, we are going to use geospatial technologies for agriculture sustainability. So here, as you see, we have three arrows that join together. This is not only a presentation, but was a research. As a GIS user, you can't be without searching different things. Here, our research was aimed to assess the impact of climate change on rural smallholder farmer in Rwanda for effective adaptation and mitigation strategies. By using NDVI or normalized difference vegetation index, as crop health paradox was delivered from Landsat image freely accessible via Digital Earth Africa platforms. Due to a combination of climatic data, helped to understand the effects of climatic factors on crop health and phenology in the Wimbogo sector in the drought-prone eastern part of our country. So here, before going to the next step, we've analyzed the trends of rainfall and temperature by analyzing which season are going to be on the risk than others. Here I found that in Rwanda we have rainy season and dry season, or where everyone has its short, where you have a short rainy season and short sun season or short dry season. And even you have longer rainy season and longer dry season. So here I found that our temperature lies in July. All those data used to prepare this chart was obtained from Digital Earth Africa using CRISP data for measuring the rainfall distribution. So here for NDVI climatology in agriculture health monitoring, we've used 2 years of verification, but in range of 10 years. You see, in 2012 or 2012, we've got huge huge NDVI values in the rainy season, while in dry season, we found that we have low NDVI values. Those stands big in NDVI in agriculture monitoring, where by using Digital Earth Africa analysis of NDVI climatology comes with these metrics, day of the year, values which encompass pivotal points in the vegetation cycle, including the start of season. Here we have the start of season, where the start of season, people prep their land to be used for seedling. So after those, we get into the peak of season. At the peak of season, you found that at the peak of season of 2012, we found that on the January, February, March, April, May, in our May, at the peak of season, it's where the agriculture are very healthy than in the starting of season, and even it comes to reduce at the end of season, like here in June, where you see that the plants are going to be cleared from the land, or harvesting time is going on. You found that the vegetation values are reduced from June, July, August, September. Even on October, we got the start of season where we prep the field to be used for seedling. Here we found that the vegetation increased according to the date of starting of season and the end of season. So here we found that at the start of season, the vegetation are distributed accordingly, where this pixel phenology has been used to monitor the area that are more in danger than others. So here you see that at the start of season of day of year, At the start of season, you see we have Y. This Y represent the coordinates and X meters. So you see at the start of season, you see the area that is right, that is light. You see it's an area that have low amount of vegetation. But those that comes in dark, you see it's the area that have high values of vegetation, or that have high values of vegetation. You see at the start of season, the vegetation is too few. But as you see here on the NDVI, you see the at the start of season the NDVI values comes low, but at the peak of season you see that at the peak of season the dark is now increased than that is light. So you can observe it on the NDVI at peak of season. At the peak of season, you see that our NDVI comes to reach at 0.8 values. So as you see the change from start of season to the end of season, to the peak of season, you observe that those vegetation values are not trees because it changes according to the day of year. You see, as if it's a trees or it's in forest, there is no change because the forest doesn't change according to the season. Always forest or forested areas are not changed. But on the agriculture area or agriculture field, the vegetation cover change over the time. So that's why you observe that at the start of season, the vegetation is too low, but at the end of season, at the peak of season, the vegetation is high density. So at the end of season, where the harvesting is now going on, you see that the dark is still still up, but light comes in than at the peak of season. You see what you observed at the end values. Here we've combined all of those to produce lengths of season. We have seen that the our our season has been characterized by availability of consistent vegetation. Even you can see at rate of growth. At the rate of growth, we observe that the our area is now increased from start of season to the end of season. So here, even you can measure the amplitude of season, even the rate of senescence. So here to continue, we observe that crop phenology analysis in the Rwimbogo sector of Rwanda revealed a delay in the onset of the rain season, resulting in a shorter growing season for the crops. As a farmer, you understand that as long as the onset delay for rain, the crop production reduces. And even if the offset of rainfall comes delay, you see that the production will be reduced. This delay significantly impacts crop growth and development as early moisture availability is crucial. The shortened growing season lead to reduced crop yield and lower agricultural productivity. As I explained above, you see our shortened growing season impact the crop yield. Additionally, the delay in rain season affect planting and harvesting timing. This increases uncertainty and risk for farmers and even contribute to food scarcity at the whole, even at a global or national. What comes after satellite imagery analysis with rainfall and temperature trend using Digital Earth Africa platform? The study highlighted a rising trend in drought occurrences, posing significant challenges for water resource and agricultural management in densely populated countries like Rwanda. As you know, or as we observe, we found that our country is now densely populated, where we have over 500 kilometer per 500 population per square kilometer. So you see, our country is now populated than before, and even we have to improve our standard of cultivation to be more resilient about the impact of climate change and to be resilient to food scarcity as our challenging issue. The study focuses on historical meteorological drought change and suggests the need for further research into external factors such as land cover change, population growth, and urbanization that may contribute to drought events in Rwanda. So, at this point, any, anyone are still asking, how can I get such interesting and amazing illustrations or maps and instruction analysis as we observed it before? Let's get in the little bit about how this platform use it. So as long as you open the Digital Earth Africa as a platform, you will find different resources where we found the Digital Earth Africa map, where you become user-friendly map-based access to Digital Earth Africa data and product. It's already analyzed, so it's your pace to get Digital Earth Africa map. So here we have other successful stories that are posted on Africa Geo Portal, where different imagery from Digital Earth Africa is available, where different geospatial tools are provided, even data and trainings. On the online, I found the platform of Sandbox, where I accessed data and analysis as a tool for technical. As I said, GIS and remote sensing user, where I explore different ideas and report my report as I presented it before. You see, this is chronological report that have been reported as paper, and even it will be available online very soon, where it reaches at third at the third step, where it's only approval await. So here we have online trainings, where 6 weeks training programs helped me to be user-friendly for Digital Earth Africa, where I got around the 4 certificates from Digital Earth Africa, and this comes as motivation to become a speaker of the product of Digital Earth Africa, and also it is still helpful for me as nowadays I'm productive in geospatial industry, So I guess as long as you join those online trainings can be helpful for you to be general familiar with use of Digital Earth Africa. So here we have a sandbox interface where as long as you need to get in, you need to have a personal account where this account help you to store and manage your previous information. And also for my target, I've started with crop health as you see here in my screen. And next, as used in my previous report, I use a phenological radar data where radar data are Sentinel-1 or those data that are taken with no condition, where it can be taken all night or on day, or even it can be taken for no impact of day or no impact of time. So radar data use active sensors than those ones that are not radar data. That like those one, even we can just get an example of Landsat and Sentinel-2, but Sentinel-1 always used for as radar data. And also for those one who are not familiar for this analysis, you can use Digital Earth Africa because they host such amount of data since it has been taken. So you can get in and use Digital Earth Africa to analyze those amount of information and get results to be used. Even you can use it on your report, on your scientific report, your paper, even your academic. Even you can use on your dissertation, you can use to inform decision makers. Even you can use those amount of information at different scale. So this is not the end of our today's module because I'm going to dive in on there.
What was just remaining was this small part, which I can help you with your permission. So you are looking at your own country. We were around where? Kigali, for example. And you just added the data on agriculture, for example, and you are able to show us the extent, and you are showing the probability of cropping, which is the yellow and the red. And as we move towards the new areas at 10 meters, you can see. So some of the crop areas, partially very deep yellow. And all this data is available for Africa because everyone in this call is connecting from different sectors. And also your example on crop type, crop mapping and etc. was well received, so that we can allow the participants for any question. Otherwise, all these recordings will share with all participants so that we can allow for any question or anything which was remaining. And thanking you very much. For example, now this one just showing you an area around where we have a forest like Mau Forest. This cropland can be able to pick this is crop. This is not a crop area, and whatever is around is a crop area. So this is the benefits of using the cropland extent area. And if we just move to where my colleague is calling us from, Pretoria, we can see the situation where we even have areas around irrigation, especially some of the regions here. We normally use crop circles for irrigation because of, rain is not very guaranteed. And the other part, you can also add the water bodies. You can also add the surface water, which can just give us an idea of what is happening in the background and what has happened over time. So you can see some of the areas are really water scarce just over time. And just pausing for any questions for Mr. Joel, and thanking Joel as one of our first champion from Rwanda, courtesy of his Professor Joseph Tushimire. So Amakuru Joseph, thank you also for bringing your classmates and friends who are also in this call. I can see Nancy is already serving us some lunch, so thank you very much. Moderator Mode Nale, thank you so much.
Thank you so much to you, Ken, for the pivot, and thank you to you, Joe, for that presentation. Very riveting. We're talking about using the Digital Earth Africa platform to monitor agriculture, and we've seen the amazing work that you've done with the platform in your space, which is out in Kigali, Rwanda. So thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. You're one of the first or very, very prominent Digital Earth Africa champions in your part of our beautiful continent. So thank you so much for gracing us with your presence today. Even though this is our final session for 2023, we still want to connect with you. On the screen is all the ways that you can do so. Our website is www.digitalearthafrica.org. You can also send us an email, info@digitalearthafrica.org. We're also on social media, Twitter, LinkedIn, as well as YouTube by the same name, Digital Earth Africa. And remember, we've also got those free online courses. Joel spoke about them during his presentation. You can still access them. You can still enroll for a course of your interest even during this holiday season. So please do log on to learn.digitalearthafrica.org. It's been an honor bringing these live sessions to you every Wednesday since January. The team's going to take a little bit of downtime, and I hope that you will get to do the same. Thank you so much for your support, for your active participation during these sessions. As Ken mentioned, we are going to bring them back in the new year, starting on the 17th of January. We usually alternate between English and French, so please do look out for the communication, and we will definitely be able to let you know what our first session will be come the 17th of Jan. Thank you, take care, and we'll meet again in 2024.